Thank you very, very much. As I said earlier to Stephen, it was our real pleasure to have you as one of our clients, because it really makes a difference when you have really enthusiastic clients there with the students. And I agree with what you say, that students do get very enthusiastic when they feel it's a real project for a person, for a company in this case, and it's a complete different motivation for them, and they highlight this in the feedback forms as well, or when they come to speak to us. They tell us how they use this example as part of job interview process, assessment centers, etc., because it's great practice for them what real life is going to be, and they're very thankful for that opportunity. So thanks very much. Thank you to both of you. You go away. As you go away to speak about business, you too, I'm going to look at my virtual room, because apparently there are a few questions perhaps for them, so we might have to call them back.
Another question from Louise. She's just wondering, following the student projects, how do companies engage in ongoing relationships with universities, and how are these relationships funded?
Perhaps you want to come to the front, perhaps, or come to the front. So the continuum support to the university. Well, he's here today. They are here today. So
I'm not sure I understand exactly where the question is going.
I think she was asking just about after the student project is finished, would the company have an ongoing relationship with the university? And if so, how would they be funded?
We do have an ongoing relationship with the university. We work a lot with Heriot-Watt because the experience was that good in the beginning. In fact, I'm kind of pestering to get more projects going, but I kind of feel there is more and more competition. So I might need to bring a bottle of whiskey these days to get in. But the funding, it comes from us. We as a company see so much value in the work that we're doing with Heriot-Watt that we fund it ourselves. But you can certainly go to organisations in Scotland like Scottish Enterprise, and you get part funding for the work that you do. But ultimately, the projects these guys do, and I think you did a phenomenal job looking at your presentation and getting very high value stuff out of that project. It's not about who's funding it, it's the value that you're getting out of it. If you do this through a company like White Blue or any of these other consultancies, you're talking 100 grand at least. And that quote that Carmen showed, the bottom quote was from me. The quality of the report and the work was better than a lot of real consultants I've worked with in the past. So there's tremendous value in your business if you can identify a project and you know what you want to do. The value's there. It's not necessarily about the funding, it's just about the value that you're getting out of it.
Would you like to add something, Stephen?
I'm a little shy of saying a few words.
Yeah, I'd add obviously to what Mark said. Business has to fund itself. The university can only do so much. They can give you the people, the academia, the brain power, the lab, etc. I'll talk specifically about the project we did, and I still owe you £238, I think, actually. I must just pay, I'll get that paid before I leave today.
All right.
What we did quite simply, the channel for this was an approach through interface for design projects, obviously, to work with, obviously, Heriot-Watt. We applied. There was no cost to us for that application other than time. But time's one of the world's greatest commodities, and you've got to make the time. There's no point in doing a project like this, I'm sure Mark will say, unless you're willing to commit some time. So the prerequisite from the university was that we had to be willing to come up and spend the time with the students and to give them some direction, some leadership, and that enthusiasm. They didn't need the enthusiasm, they had bags of it themselves. But you had to put the time in. Our specific projects, our costs for that were less than £2,000. We paid for some, we came up, we had the initial establishment meeting, we worked out what we thought we could get out of them. We didn't know what they could output for us when we first came up. This was my first project here. I've done work with Strathclyde, I still do work with them, and I also do work with Dundee for specific ultrasonics. Although the ultrasonics package is now here, and was working with the guys down here as well. So we didn't know what the cost would be other than time. The guys quite quickly established what they would require from us by way of hardware, materials, and the cost for that. Some of the materials they procured themselves, and we paid for that, although I haven't paid yet, but I'm owing them the money. And some of the other parts, electronic components, fans, various other bits and pieces, the gubbins to make the thing actually work for a prototype, then we went out and bought and then brought up for the students. So as I say, cost in physical pound notes less than £2,000. Value, you're talking MasterCard stuff, it's priceless. You can't put a value on what these guys do. Mark also mentioned the fresh thoughts, the new thinking. I came in with how I think it should be done, but this is just one guy from Glasgow without any qualifications. You're talking to people who have been taught by the best in one of the world's best establishments, so you've got to then be willing to listen to what they say. And our students gave us the solution that they designed, not what I wanted. I told them what I wanted the solution, they designed the solution. So as I say, the cost was incomparably low compared to the output we got. And I would follow just comment on Mark's comment about the output of the quality versus what you get from big consultancy. Big consultancy chaps in our door every single day, and they charge between £750 and £1,500 a day for their time. And the quality of what we got was a 36-page report that I can take anywhere. And that is the technological roadmap for our future invention. And I'm now going to talk to him about putting his chemical in that invention actually as well. So with that, that's my comment.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. No, thanks very much. Thank you for your comments. And I'm delighted that today you are meeting, perhaps first time, am I right?
He may not be delighted, Jennifer. We'll find out later.
So this is another engineering design opportunity for you to network. Sure. With, in between the companies with each other. Laura.
A tiny little thing about, obviously there are a number of different funding options available, and Interfaces, you'll know, administer the innovation voucher for the universities. But there's also, with regards to follow-on relationships, there's the new follow-on voucher, which is matched by the company in cash. So it's a voucher from £5,000 to £20,000, and that is paid to offset the academics' time, but it is a cash match. So that's just for continuing relationships with a project specifically.